take you now to New York City, where the mayor, Eric Adams, is going ahead with the program to relocate migrants being housed in the city.
Yeah, Empire State Building live look here. Cloudy day here in Manhattan. The plan here is to move roughly 1,000 migrants to a new location for them inside a Brooklyn cruise terminal warehouse. But they don't like that. They don't want to leave their comfy digs at the hotel on the west side of Manhattan. Why would they? They've set up a tent city of sorts, if you will, outside the hotel that you see on the left side of your screen there in response to city officials trying to move them. They don't like it. They don't want to move. National correspondent Mike Carter live outside that very hotel where the standoff is heating up. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sean. Again, yeah, that's right. A lot of these migrants, about 1,000 adult men or so, have been staying here at the Watson Hotel, Midtown West on 57th Street. Take a look, though. A lot of them have been kicked out this week, and now they're choosing, rather than go to that Brooklyn terminal where a number of tents are set up, they're deciding to stay here on the sidewalk and brave the cold here in New York City. Again, about 1,000 adult males were slated to head to that Brooklyn terminal facility this week. They've been shuffled around New York City for the last 6 or 7 months now. Remember, they originally started a tent city in the Bronx. That flooded. They moved that to Randall's Island. There were questions about the facilities there. And then they started dispersing adult male migrants and families into hotels in Manhattan. Now, in the Watson Hotel in Midtown West, they want to replace the 1,000 or so adult men with families and send all of those adult males. I'm not sure how the city knows they're adult males or not, but they want them to move to Brooklyn. And as you can see, many of them are protesting and instead choosing to stay here on the sidewalk. Now, in response, the city says this weekend, the city began the process of moving single adult men from the Watson Hotel to Brooklyn Cruise Terminal as it transitions the hotel to meet the large number of asylum-seeking families and children. More than 43,000 asylum seekers have arrived in New York since last spring, and the city continues to surpass its moral obligations as we provide asylum seekers with shelter, food, health care, education, and a host of other services. That's according to a City Hall spokesman. While some migrants, though, outside the hotel on Monday held signs stating, "No a la discrimination a la immigrante," while others brushed their teeth in the street using water bottles to rinse out their mouths. Now, the City Hall claims the facilities of the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal, where Eric Adams visited on Monday, will provide the same level of services as every other humanitarian relief center in New York, and that the city remains in serious need of support from both the state and federal governments. But the South Bronx Mutual Aid Group is disputing that claim, saying the city is lying about its treatment of asylum seekers. The group tweeting, "The Adams administration has reason to lie about the refugee outcry at the Watson Hotel. Refugees were evicted, some in the middle of the night, after forcibly removed and bused to Red Hook Marine Terminal. They fled a site they described as a prison or an icebox." It is cold here in New York City, slated to get down into the single digits here this weekend. The city and some of those who are interested in making sure that these migrants are okay are arguing that a lot of this is being funded and by outside protesters who have infiltrated these groups who are talking to these migrants. We've seen a few people ask us who we're with today. These were not migrants, but what we can tell, these are Caucasian males asking me who I'm with, wearing masks, so one holding a rainbow umbrella. So you're wondering who is actually organizing this protest. It does seem to be coming from outside of the migrant population. Sean, Nema?
All right, you point out a cold day in Manhattan, 36 degrees right now. As we know, the homeless crisis in the city is also at hand. You hope everyone's taken care of. Mike Carter, live with the latest. Mike, thank you very much. We're going to keep up that live shot from the tent city. We're talking about it with New York's former Commissioner of Records coming up next, so you don't want to miss that one. Taking another live look at New York City migrants are set to be relocated across the Big Apple. With us now, Brian Anderson, the former New York City Commissioner of Records. And Brian, these migrants don't want to go without protesting the decision. What happens next?
Exactly right. But, they're in no position to demand anything. I mean, you came from Venezuela, you come to New York in the wintertime. This is what we're going to be dealing with. But there's a human cost here besides what it's costing the city and taxpayers to move these people around and to process them. They're asylum seekers, which means they may or may not be granted asylum, but they're here in the meantime, and they've got to be sheltered. Now, we have a homeless population that we're trying to deal with here in New York City. We pay a lot of money for that. And here we have this kind of dumped on us because this administration has failed to control the border despite what they say. We have a VP who's never been there. She's the border czar. And this is all a direct result of those policies.
What happens with Mayor Eric Adams on this? There are people that are pushing back against him, trying to move them. Obviously, they're protesting him trying to move these migrants that are housed at the Watson, at the hotel on the west side of Manhattan, to this cruise terminal. How does he unify everyone on one thought on this in terms of caring for these asylum seekers, as he called them, but also understanding that they can't live at this hotel as long as they'd like?
Well, he's got a full agency, the Department of Homeless Services, that are probably, implicit in all of this, and there are costs involved as well.
Yeah.
So they're probably looking for the best alternative to expensive hotel rooms that they're paying for. But I feel sorry for the mayor. Again, he said sanctuary city. What part of that did you not understand when you said it? But here we are. It's unsustainable, and I wish I could be of some help to him.
These folks took the message to heart, right? And
Well,
now
that's
they
for
want to be put up and housed, and in this case, in a nice hotel.
And making demands, yeah.
Yeah. Brian Anderson, thanks for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you, guys.